I did it again. I brought a camera without an SD card, so it's either this one or that one. And for this ride, I'm gonna use that one. So yeah, man, I'm out of touch. All right, be a short little sweet ride home. Not a long video. I know the last couple have taken more editing than I really wanted, and were probably longer than anyone wanted to watch. I want to ask a question, and well, let me pose the question. What's the best gear? An obligatory dad joke, just to get it out of the way, I'd have to say, well, 6th, because I can go the fastest. Okay, now that that's out of the way. I'm in desperate need of new gear. And I've been thinking a lot about it lately. I love this mesh jacket that I had for years. There's awesome things about it, especially the air conditioning kicks in as soon as you're moving. But I've been looking at quite a few videos, I've been thinking a lot about it. And I'm realizing just how far the industry has gotten from, you know, prioritizing safety rather than them just cutting costs and meeting the minimal safety requirements in every chance they get. So more and more I'm thinking about leather. You know, I'm not on a sports bike, I get that. I'm not gonna get one of those like Alpine Stars leather jackets that's form-fitted and all that, but I am thinking more and more that as I've gotten older and I want to prioritize safety more and more, the actual answer in that case is leather. And I'm open to being wrong. I'm very curious other people's opinions about it. And for like even just a little bit of context, I have to remind myself that I've run the gamut, you know? I'm the guy that used to ride in shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops on motorcycles when I was younger. Yeah, it's stupid. That's a dumb thing to do. But I was stupid and dumb, you know? I'm older now and I do want to prioritize safety. I want to make sure that I'm around as long as possible with my kids and teach them the importance of safety on motorcycles and choosing the right gear and driving the right way. And the more I think about it, I'm leaning towards leather, but I'm also like vacillating on that a little bit. The thing that kills me about wearing leather, like all leather, is just how suffocating it can be. Now, I am aware that when it comes down to the actual tests by third parties that do this kind of stuff, that if I'm gonna go for a slide, bar none, the best thing I can do is wear leather. But that's not the only thing that you need to take into account when it comes to motorcycle safety. You also need to take into account things like, you know, how alert are you gonna be? How much fatigue does it actually add to you? Maybe not for the short ride, but for the long rides. And I keep thinking back to some of my long road trips and just how sweltering and insanely hot some instances were, or when it started to rain and I had to double up on layers, and I keep thinking that as much as, you know, the mesh fabric gear is not as safe, boy, is it a whole different beast when it comes to how much fatigue I'm gonna feel because of the gear specifically that I'm wearing. And so I'm really kind of torn. You know, I definitely want to get a leather jacket and pant for certain conditions, but I don't know that it's really the answer, like if I'm going to do a long road trip. I've also been doing quite a bit of research on the actual armor pads that come in jackets, and I'm inclined to agree with Ryan F9 from Fortnite, a video he did a couple of years ago for them that discussed how minimal the actual surface area and important areas the armor actually covers. You know, it's like I'm not necessarily gonna slide on the spots of this jacket that happen to have armor. And certainly if I take an impact in those areas, I'm well aware that that armor is not really gonna do a whole lot. It's not like it's gonna protect me from, you know, smacking into a pole or into a car or something at full speed. My bones are still gonna break. They don't provide the kind of impact resistance that would actually stop you from breaking bones outside of you know, in a serious accident, a serious collision. So it's not doing anything for me there, and it's not doing anything for me if I slide, because they don't have armor in some of the highest slide areas. They just don't, you know? So the debate really is the safest thing to wear leather, a full leather jacket, full leather pants? But I'm genuinely curious what everyone else's opinions are. So this is my dilemma. I'm genuinely torn on if I should get a new mesh style jacket with the latest fabrics and the latest composites that will hopefully add the greatest amount of protection and the versatility of, you know, it being breathable, it being lighter to wear, it being more comfortable. Or should I suck it up and get the leather jacket and pants and riding gear that I know is not going to be as breathable, that I know is not going to be something I want to wear for as long every day, or I'm going to need to take more breaks, but comes at the premium of incredible abrasion resistance compared to basically anything else on the market. So I'm curious, what do you guys think? If anyone watches this and has some experience with this stuff and has an opinion, I'm really genuinely curious what you guys come up with and how you approach solving this particular question. Regardless, I need to get a new jacket. I need to get proper riding pants. I've managed to get out for a ride every single day since I bought this bike, bar one. And that day my arm was just bothering me so much, I said, should probably take a break. I'm at almost 750 kilometers. I got another 250 before I need to do the service, and then I can really open it up. I want to take this bike places that I've never taken malls, and I want to be as safe as possible when I do it. So, genuinely curious what other people think. I'm open to suggestions. What's your favorite riding gear? Everyone out there who is riding, ride safe and ride fun. And I'll see all of you beautiful people on the next video. See ya.